Just across the Hudson from Albany, on scenic River Street, a quiet revolution has been brewing. Not politics or economics. This is a revolution of the soul. The town that once gave us Uncle Sam now gives us a thriving center of creativity. This is the Art Center of the Capital Region.
It is in art that we learn that there are many right answers and that the right answer is not the same for every person.
Something in an artist that they almost just have to do, and that it's not something they can really describe, but that it's just this thing they have to do.
We tend to put the arts in a box of its own, okay? But the reality is that art is really high science. When you think about what it takes in any stream of the arts, whether it's painting, whether it's sculpting, whether it's writing poetry, making music, you name it, there is science involved.
You know, a piece of art has to have soul to it. And soul is sometimes hard to describe, and it's hard to, you can't necessarily pinpoint it and put it in a box, but it's something that you almost feel when you see it.
If they can get outside of themselves, then it opens them up to not only the possibility of what they'll create in that sculpting environment, or the student in my class learning to play the instruments and the rhythms, it will open them up to a whole new world and way of thinking about themselves that they hadn't before.
One of the fascinating things about art is that it's everywhere.
There's no right or wrong. It's from your heart. It's art.
Come and enjoy yourself, and don't be afraid. Everybody could draw and paint. Art is for everyone.
And what else can you say that about in life?
Retired people, young people, artists who are looking to expand their horizons. We get two-dimensional artists working in here. So really, I like to think I get a good cross-sampling here at the Art Center. Everyone from every place. We get, for example, these kids from the middle school, which is just terrific. But in my evening classes, primarily I'm teaching adults, it's a whole gamut, which makes it so, again, so much fun and rewarding for me, enriching in my life.
You can see people having an absolute meeting of the minds who are so different and whose circumstances outside of this place are so radically separate. And yet when they're here, I think they really find a connection. And I think that art has a really powerful way of doing that, whether that's making something in a workshop, whether that's singing or dancing in a class, whether that's being a part of an audience. So I think it's a really important thing.
I guess as an artist in language and word and performing through stand-up, I just have to do it. I can't imagine not doing it. And so I feel like I'm finally able to call myself an artist.
Folks are creative. Folks want to explore. And you think about the range of the arts that this center represents: drawing, painting, sculpture, jewelry, pottery, cooking, writing, dance, yoga, all of these ways of expressing yourself, of pushing boundaries, of doing something creative that may or may not relate, in fact, probably doesn't relate to your job, whatever your job may be. It's a very fundamental human impulse, I think.
We are sort of a crossover space. There are a lot of organizations in the area that are dedicated to a particular art form or a particular kind of art form, and the Art Center sort of operates in this middle ground. And so we're able to do things that cross genres and also things that help build audiences into new genres. So you may be a housewife who takes a pottery class every week, and maybe you'd never go to a jazz club, but you might come to a jazz concert at the Art Center, and it might be something that really excites you. And so in some ways we can sort of be the linkage between a lot of art forms, because people come to us for one thing and they can find that they actually love something else as well.
If the arts have a role in each of our lives, you think about who each of us is. We are the young, we're the old. We're the well-off, we're the less well-off, the underserved, if you will. We're kids in school, we're people in college, we're people right out of college starting their lives. We are folks who are retired and who are looking for new frontiers. We are people who have lived in this region forever and ever, and we are people who are new to this region.
I think that the Art Center space is really special. People come in, they come in through this grand lobby. You know, there's artwork all around them. There's a lot of venues where you come to see a show and you come in and you take your seat. Hopefully the experience when you come into the Arts Center is you walk through an architecturally significant building that has history to it, surrounded by galleries. You go in and you sit in a really interesting space that has a lot of flexibility and can cater to a lot of different kinds of performances. So I think the space in and of itself makes the performance experience very special.
The arts programs that are at RPI, St. Rose, Skidmore, University of Albany, we are attracting folks not only in the arts, but for whom the arts are personally and professionally important. That's happening here. And what this center does is it provides a place for these folks to both make and experience the arts.
An intriguing story lurks inside everyone. Marion Roach Smith teaches people how to tell those stories artfully in the form of memoir. Her classes are booked solid.
The determination to tell our story is, it's the human soul. I mean, there's an old expression that a man would rather you listen to his tale than grant him his wish. And I have seen that in action in 600 people to date. They want to tell their tales, and their tales vary. Their tales vary from everything from a sick child to a marriage to how they discovered that they had a religious self, how they discovered that they had a spiritual self. I mean, it can be about an event, about an illness, about anything. But they have the great desire to tell their tale, and that's fascinating to me.
Mary Wheeler never planned on being an artist. Then her life took an unexpected turn.
In high school, I was told that I had no artistic talent, so I went on to do bookkeeping and math and use my brain in that manner. But when I got into the jewelry store, I had, really amazing designs that people really liked and came out really well. So I found that I had a different talent than what I first started out as. And my students, when I tell them that I went for accounting, everybody always kind of looks at me and says, "Are you kidding?" But yeah, and I think it helps encourage them, especially when I tell them that my high school art teacher said I have no talent. I have a girl in my class right now, and when I first said to everybody, "You have to draw a design," I saw the panic on her face, and I recognized it in myself when I first took those classes and was told that. And I told her to calm down, we could do it. She's on her third piece already in her 5th week of classes. So she's doing great, and that's what it takes. It just takes a little encouragement and a lot of understanding, and that's what I find all the teachers in the Art Center have.
I hear again and again how nurturing the faculty is, how patient the faculty are, and professional, of course. But I think it sets it up for an environment that's really very safe and secure to try some things that might scare you, and do so in an environment that's supportive of that.
I am a ceramic engineer, and I work at a small research and development consulting company, but I also have a strong interest in the arts and the creative side of things, and I actually think that these complement each other very well. I think showing my colleagues what I make at the Art Center is an opportunity for them to see a different side of me.
One of the reasons people take classes here is, yes, to learn a skill perhaps, but also to meet people and to be in a social environment.
Anyone that comes in and takes a class, and I see a change. I see a confidence level that they didn't necessarily have, and they could be great artists, but it's a new medium that they're working in, and how well they've done in such a short amount of time. I see people blossom and flourish.
We have this class called Drawing for the Terrified Beginner. I think people have this sense that, oh, I can't draw a straight line, oh, I've never had an artistic bone in my body. And they don't often realize that those aren't a prerequisite for a place like the Art Center.
In order to do anything, you gotta take the first step.
The Art Center's influence goes far beyond works of pottery, paint, and performance. It profoundly affects the quality of life in the capital region. Just ask anyone.
To me, the arts it lights a fire in us, I guess. And so having a place like the Art Center that can sort of continually, stoke that fire is a really important thing.
This is the vision that I always thought that the Art Center would be.
30,000 visitors come through this building in the course of a year. We have students who are here almost every day of the week, almost every night of the week. We have exhibits, we have receptions, we have performances, we have readings. They bring dozens, hundreds, thousands of people to the downtown.
I don't think that you could come to the Art Center and take a class without coming out of it completely changed. All of the encouragement and the caring that each person gets and receives while they're here has to change you, even if the art doesn't.
The Art Center, I've always, I wish I could do more here actually. I had the time to do more because they have so much to offer.
Because of all the different forms of creativity that you see in the Art Center and all the different types of people that you see in the Art Center, that it takes on all of those complexities. So it becomes its own creative entity. It's a great place to be.
And what's just remarkable about this place is that it is invested in the success of every artist who steps through the door. And I've never seen anything quite like it.
People in the classes are vested in each other's success. It's something that they're doing for themselves, that they want to be there, and I think that creates the environment, in a very healthy environment where you not only want to be successful for yourself, but that you'd like to see other people around you succeed as well. And I also get that feeling from the instructors.
I've been here certain nights where I've helped out with hanging exhibitions, and then a number of students come out for a break, and there's, you know, all kinds of excitement and conversation going on. Or I've taken dance classes here, and, you know, we come down on a weeknight with some other neighbors, and we actually we just took a swing dance class. So, you know, it's really, for me, it's very vital and enriches my life in many different ways.
As you can see, I'm handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair. Anything I want is accessible.
When I think of all the things that they are doing here, it just really excites me. That my grandson can come here and take a hip-hop dance class. That is probably one of the really good things about the Art Center. The diversity that you see in the programming, and that you get to meet new people. And you're all starting out in some ways from the same place, which is an equalizing factor.
The Art Center brings hundreds and then thousands of people repeatedly to the downtown area, both during the day and in the evening. And then those people bring their friends and when they have exhibits or performances. And so it grows kind of one person at a time. And it's been delightful to see it. It's been delightful to see this beautiful building be so used.
Once you've come into the Art Center, as accomplished as you can be in your personal life and your business life, you're a different person here. And what you accomplish here is a sense of community and a sense of soul. The Art Center hits people right to the heart and soul.
In tough times, putting food on the table is a much higher priority than finding food for the soul. How does art fit into the big picture?
Looking ahead, I see the arts being ever more important, probably to every region, but certainly this region.
I'm pretty excited about where the Art Center stands today in Troy and what the future looks like in terms of what we'll be able to accomplish with all the partnerships that are now being developed.
The arts provide opportunities for folks to push and probe and explore, grow, expand. And you know that's important any time in human history, but particularly when things are tight, when things are a little tough.
What we find at the Art Center is it's during those times that our classes are often better than normal.
The arts provide an opportunity to reach out to perhaps something you always wanted to do, something that keeps you sane.
It does fuel that side of you, the creative side of you that we all have.
This has been a real, I think, renaissance in this city
So this building is really a beacon here on Monument Square.
As a wise seventh grader named Devin once said, art is your emotions flowing in a river of imagination. A vision appreciated by many on the East Bank of the Hudson at the Art Center of the Capital Region.